Here's a quick update on Rudy Giuliani. Now, Mr. Giuliani has been on the struggle bus a little bit. He has a hearing coming up, and the judge has said she would not excuse him in order for him to be able to go to the inauguration. So that was that. Now, Mr. Giuliani has just filed a declaration of Mayor Rudolph Giuliani. I don't know. So he just wrote this and filed it. And the case is just called Freeman v. Guliani in the United States District Court, District of Columbia. So I'll just read it to you here, all right? It'll go quick. Declaration of Mayor Rudolph Giuliani. Pursuant to 28 United States Code Section 1746, I, Rudolph Giuliani, hereby declares as follows. Number 1. I reside in Florida. I'm 80 years old and suffer from a number of medical conditions. These include severe knee conditions, one which involves a knee that has already been the subject of emergency surgery, and the other that will require surgery and rehab, as well as a lung condition that requires the use of an inhaler. I have 2 stents inserted to deal with 95% blockage in one coronary artery and 85% blockage in the other coronary artery. I take medication for my heart condition and carry nitroglycerin with me at all times. Air travel is not impossible, but should be done only if necessary. But if there is an alternative, that is better for my health. Number 2. I receive unalive threats. In the last few years, there were 2 plotted attempts on my life that led to prosecution, one in France and one in Albania. As a result, I consult with a former New York police commissioner regarding my personal security and, when necessary, travel with security. I'm glad he's able to find someone he can talk to. Since the recent events in New Orleans and Las Vegas, and with the intensifying conflict between Israel and Iran and its proxies, I have been advised to be particularly careful in general and, of course, when I travel. That is not to say I cannot travel. I travel for my court appearances, for work, and for certain important personal matters. However, my health and safety concerns make travel burdensome and expensive. Number 3, since December 9th of 2024, I have traveled twice, once for a few days around Christmas to spend the holiday at the personal residence of close personal friends, and once for a court conference in the Southern District of New York, at which a motion for remote appearance was initially denied and then subsequently granted. Number 4, it currently appears that I will be required to appear in person for trial in the New York matter identified above starting January 16th of 2025. If it concludes before January 20th, I may travel to Washington, D.C. on the way home from Florida for the inauguration of President Trump, which will be a once-in-a-lifetime event in which I cannot participate by Zoom and for which there will be heightened security. Number 5, I did not represent that I do not or cannot travel, but the travel carries medical and security risks, as the facts set forth in paragraphs 1 and 2 above make clear, and that there was, therefore, a compelling basis for my remote appearance. Number 6, I had hoped the court would understand and accommodate my needs. However, it appears I was mistaken. Because it is difficult to cancel my 2 evening broadcasting commitments and last-minute travel arrangements are uncertain, I have decided to withdraw my motion to appear virtually and to be physically present for tomorrow's hearing. I declare under penalty of perjury that the foregoing is the best of my knowledge, true and correct, executed on January 9th of 2025, signed by Rudolph Giuliani. So that happened. Apparently, Mr. Giuliani, and I see this as a bit of a trend with Mr. Trump and his friends, seem to think that they are important enough that they can just come in and tell a court what they want to do. Like, I'm thinking more of Wednesday, Your Honor. Thursday's no good for me. That's not how it works. Now, there's always 2 sides to the story, right? we have a court here that has given him an order yesterday regarding being present virtually. Let me just read what the court has said on this, January 8th of 2025. Minute order, paperless. I'm not a fan, but you got to do what you got to do. Upon consideration of defendant's 37 motion to appear virtually for the scheduled contempt hearing on January 10th of 2025, and to assess the seriousness and veracity of the medical conditions, i.e. severe knee conditions, a lung condition requiring the use of an inhaler, and a heart condition, and security concerns, credible unalive threats, that this motion, without support from any medical or other documentation, asserts provide good cause and compelling circumstances to excuse his in-person attendance at the scheduled contempt hearing, directing defendant to file by January 9th at 2 p.m. a sworn declaration under penalty of perjury from Mr. Guliani that, except for travel required for court proceedings, he has been unable to travel and has not traveled from his residence in Florida in the past 30 days, and that he remains unable to and will not travel in the next 30 days, i.e. the period from December 9th of 2024 to February 7th of 2025, due to these same medical conditions and security concerns. Signed, Judge Howell. So the judge is saying, let's have a hearing, sir, on what's going on, because I'm going to need some proof. And I'm going to need you to put a statement in. Now, I just read Giuliani's sworn statement explaining that he's withdrawing his request for a virtual appearance, and he will be there. So that was a lot of runaround for nothing. But interesting to see Giuliani's take here on how he wants to go forward. Because, you know, these judges, they're going to call you out on your bologna sandwiches. They've seen it all. They've heard it all. They have so much experience with people being like, oh, I can't show up. I just can't do it. This isn't their first rodeo. So Mr. Guliani may be a little bit rusty when it comes to the court system. And I think it really has shown itself with his motion of withdrawal of motion and the court's minute order on January 8th. So quick update on Rudy. Apparently he's going to be there on the 10th.